Hi, I'm Sonya Lifschitz. I'm a pianist, and today I want to share with you some insights into the process of creating and performing New Light, a short piece Angus, Davison and I devised to demonstrate the amazing sonic, textural and gestural possibilities of the piano. As you will have seen in the performance video, I use the piano as a kind of expanded instrument, getting right inside its interior and using strings, metal beams and the circular openings inside the metal frame of the piano to create all kinds of sounds. We also wanted to create a piece that challenged the traditional notation in Western art music, in the sense of it being fully notated and fixing every element of performance, like pitch, duration, phrasing, dynamics. Instead, we wanted to experiment with graphic and verbal notation, to create a modular score structure where performer has the agency and the freedom to essentially co-compose or co-create the piece by making creative choices about how to assemble those various elements in the score. So it's a kind of choose your own adventure piece, where as a performer you get to decide the sequence of events using the prompts provided. So let's look at the specific techniques used in this piece: muting, harmonics, striking, and strumming. Muting is produced by placing the palm of your hand or the fingers on the string somewhere between the pins and the dampers, and then striking the corresponding key on the piano. You can play a repeated single note, or an interval, or a cluster. In my performance, I decided to pair the muting technique with the oscillation gesture from the 4 visual prompts. And I decided to play it as a tremolo to kind of emulate that undulating figure. Harmonics. Harmonics are produced by placing a finger on a specific point on the string and then either plucking the corresponding string or striking the corresponding key on the keyboard. It's a little bit fiddly to find those nodal points, as they called, on the string, and it takes a little bit of experimentation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press the pedal down, I'm going to use the key of B, and I'm going to run my finger down the string until I find one of the harmonics. So this is the first partial, and it sounds a fifth above the actual note I'm pressing. If I keep going down, this is my second partial, which sounds an octave above the actual key I'm playing, and I will keep going. And this is my fifth partial, which sounds a third above the keys that I'm playing. I'm going to mark those points with a chalk so that I can quickly and easily know where these points are in performance. You will also notice that I've got those green stickers on my dampers indicating the notes. This is so that I can easily and quickly match the string to the corresponding key on the piano. In the performance, I decided to match the harmonics with the ringing gesture. Striking is another very lovely technique which turns the piano essentially into a percussion instrument by tapping or striking the metal beams of the piano and inside the circular openings of the metal frame. So I'm going to press the pedal down and I'm going to use either my knuckles or my fingertips to strike the beams. You can hear that depending on the length and the positioning of the beam, it produces very different timbre, pitch and tone color. And particularly when I strike the soundboard inside those circular openings with my third finger, I get that beautiful, mysterious, resonant sound. I decided to pair the striking with the echoing gesture. And finally, let's talk about strumming. The easiest way to do it is to glissando up and down the strings while holding the pedal down. But a more sophisticated and interesting version of this technique is to silently depress down a chord. You see that raises the corresponding dampers, and then to strum on the string. You can either use your fingertip or fingernail for slightly different sound quality. Make sure also you don't use the pedal whilst you're strumming. But if you want to move on to the next chord, catch the sound into the pedal, silently depress the next chord, and remove the pedal just when you start strumming again. In my performance, I paired the strumming technique with the evaporating gesture. So I hope this gives you something new, fun and different to explore and experiment with. And I'm curious to see how many different possibilities of this piece you will come up with.